Hello YouTube, Restitution here, and today we're going to do another phone review, but this time the phone in question is the Droid Ultra. New one from Motorola. We got them in a little early. I don't have the Droid Max yet. I wanted to do both at once, but right now we're just going to talk about the Droid Ultra and highlight some of the things and the features that are really cool, and then we will go from there. So let's get started. So here we have the Motorola Droid Ultra. Now the packaging itself is very simple, a little bit smaller than we're used to. Inside you're going to find the standards, you're going to find the booklets, warranty information, a data cable, and a power brick. Nothing too fancy. We never really go into any of that anyway unless there's something other than those standard accessories. But you, like me, are probably more interested in the phone itself. So, a couple stats about the phone while I try to get this guy to bypass activation. 10 megapixel rear shooter, full HD. 2 megapixel camera up front, also full HD. The display itself is 720p, which is a little disappointing considering that many of the other new super high-end phones come with a 1080p display. Now, that being said, the pros and cons there is the 1080p may look a little bit sharper, but it's going to use a lot more battery. Motorola, as Motorola does on Verizon, is more worried about battery life than something like the crispness of the display. So by limiting the display at 720p, you're going to get a much longer battery life. It is a 5-inch 720p display though, and it is fairly edge-to-edge without much bezel in the hand. Now this, like I said, is the Droid Ultra. I was really hoping to get the Droid Max to compare the two, but this one has the Kevlar back. You can kind of see some of the details there. Let's see if I can get it to focus. There you are. You can kind of see some of the details and the reflection. With a high gloss back. Now you can see the high gloss back does attract a lot of fingerprints, but that's really a minor inconvenience. So let's see if I can get this to power on and get us past the display screen. So to bypass the activation on the Droid Ultra, Droid Max, and Droid Mini, you get to the language selection screen and you tap the 4 corners starting at the top left and going around in a clockwise fashion. You have to go pretty quickly, so it might take a few tries, but once you figure it out, it is pretty simple. So we got to bypass the activation. Now I am leaving the screen on here because this one is not my phone. This is for another customer. Now, we have the Droid Ultra launcher here, and the Droid Ultra launcher, as we've seen with the Droid HD and the Razer Max HD, is very clean. It's very AOSP style, very friendly, very lightweight, not a whole lot going on here. Now, they did get rid of the system that I was a really fan of, where you had the ring and the icons down at the bottom, and you slid once and you got to your quick launch settings. Now you have the standard carousel 5-screen setup, which I'm not really a fan of. I like the older Droid setup a little bit better. But that is a minor thing. So we have a very solid, very skinny phone here. The depth of this phone, the thickness of this phone is the same as the original Droid Razer. Now the original Droid Razer, as some of you may know, had horrible battery life. Motorola states that this phone will get you 22 hours of continuous use. Now that is a very big claim, especially for a phone so thin. But it is, like the original Razer and all the other Razers since then, a non-removable battery, and it's packing a substantial size battery. So I could see it getting you close to 22 hours, definitely a full day. The Droid Max is supposed to get you 48 hours of continuous use, and that is a very large claim to live up to. But that being said, Motorola has done crazy things like that in the past. Overall feel and first impression of the Droid Ultra, I do like the size and the feel. I'm not really a fan of this high gloss plastic or this high gloss finish on the Kevlar back. I kind of liked the texture and the feel of the Kevlar on the Razer HDs, the Razer Max, the Razer Max HD. I liked that feel. This is a little bit slippery, a little bit slimy, but it feels nice in the hand. I can't wait to get a hold of the Razer Max. I'm probably going to rock that phone out for a little while. Couple things software-wise about this phone is, one, we have that right there, which I'm not really sure how I did. I think it was the twist motion. Yep, there we are. Brings up the display, tells you the time and any notifications that are going on without actually draining the battery. You're not powering on the phone. You're just using a simple gesture. Now, a couple other things about this. You also get that same feature, which should bring up the camera, or at least that's what I thought. Looks like it's not doing that. I'll have to play around with the gestures when I finally get my hands on one. One of the weird things, though, and good thing at the same time, is the SIM card slot. Looking around the phone, you have your headphone jack up on that side. Nothing on the left-hand side. On the bottom, you have your micro USB charger. And on this side here, which, let's see if I can get it to focus. Kinda, sorta, come on. There we are. We have your power button, your volume up, and your volume down. But no SIM card slot. And that's because the SIM card slot is built into the volume rocker, which is a pretty cool concept. Scared me the first time I took it out. I thought I broke the phone. But it just slides in and clicks, and it's got a nice click to it, so you know when it's definitely in there. But that being said, really solid phone. I do like the feel. I just wish there was a little bit more texture and a little more grippiness to the back. So that's my initial impression and the unboxing. I will give the Droid Ultra a solid 2 thumbs up. Motorola is certainly trying. I like this more than the original Razer HD, so let's see how it actually holds up. Price points on these are going to be $100 for the Droid Ultra, $200 for the Droid Ultra, I'm sorry, $100 for the Droid Mini, and $300 for the Droid Max. So if you want something small, compact, yet powerful, get the Droid Mini. If you like the larger phone, and one day is plenty of battery for you, get the Droid Ultra. And if you're like me and don't like charging your phone, spend the extra $100, get that 48-hour battery with continuous use, and you will be very pleased. Powering the phone, we have a dual-core 1.7 GHz processor with a quad-core 500 MHz processor, which is supposed to actually hold up pretty well. 2 gigs of RAM, and I believe, let me double check here, but I believe we have 16 gigs of internal storage, no SD card slot. 16 gigs is still a lot. I like having a little bit more, but 16 should be enough for most people. This is Restitution signing off. Be sure to subscribe, check back for more videos on phones, apps, and accessories.